everyone, are you ready for another adventure? It's me, Wokey, and I'm back with another Fate Grand Order video. And what are we talking about today? Well, as you can see here, tomorrow they plan to do a stream talking about Ordeal Call 2 because it's coming up real soon. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about it for a little bit. Taking a look at some of the things that JP got when it came over, and taking a look at the banners that they also did. It should be a relatively pretty simple video. But that's going to be today's video. Hope you like it. If you do, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you're looking forward to. And now let's start with the video, I guess. Okay, so yeah, so like I said, there's going to be a stream up, the Chaldean broadcast station. I guess I could just leave the YouTube link in my video. It starts at 6 p.m. and they'll be going over some stuff and likely go over some more greater details as to what we're going to be getting. Why are we getting this? Well, I can look over here and I can show you it's because we're getting maintenance. So that means we're literally about to get the new chapter and everything. Maintenance should start around 20, I forget because of daylight savings time for me. But either way, it should be back up on by 1 a.m. for me, PDT time. That's typically when it is on the 11th, which would be Wednesday by that point. And then with that one, it will come Marie Alter, and also, of course, the new chapters for anyone who's caught up to Ordeal Call and ready to start it and do all that good stuff. Now, in terms of what the things that they had on there, well, just give me a sec to go over here real quick and then click on this so everything looks good. Here's some main information that JP got. I don't know if this is 100% the same thing we're going to get. The reason is there's some things I'm not clear on whether or not we're going to get. The big one being this right here. These two did launch at the same time. If you don't hear any news about this, then I think you're pretty good to assume that Spring New Master's Aid campaign isn't coming until back to school, which would be in August, so that means likely Castoria. But again, I don't know if that's going to be happening or not. I just figure I bring it up because they did happen the same time on JP. But the stuff I'm pretty sure we are going to get new items: Flower of the End and Golden Cauldron. We already have these servant animation updates. If you beat ID, you get a class score extra 1 unlock, so only one class out of the 4 stipulated classes of extra 1 will receive benefits from the class score upgrade. You can kind of guess based off of what the Ordeal Call is based off of, which one of those are going to be unlocked. And then also some new permanent craft essences with 2 of them going away: Necromancy and Awakened Will. That's right, no longer will this fucking thing show up and ruin my summons. This is it. He ain't showing up no more. He's shown up fairly often. And Awakened Will, what is this one? Gone. Get them the fuck out of here. I don't want to see them anymore. My summons when I go for Marie Alter. But the new permanent summoning pool is going to be the one who failed to attain immortality, Recollection from the Tobacco Smoke, and the Blade of Mediocrity. The one who failed to attain immortality is a 5-star. It has a 200% chance to seal the skill of a unit whose last dealt damage to self when defeated 2 turns. 200% chance to inflict curse with 1000 damage to the unit who last dealt damage to self when defeated 10 turns. Max limit break, it goes to 2000 curse damage. Recollections from the Tobacco Smoke is a 4-star. It grants Gut status, which activates a 50% chance to Guts when defeated. Revives with 1 HP. Crit damage plus 5% when max limit broken, it's 10% to crit damage. Blade of Mediocrity is also a 4-star. It has a 60% chance to charge NP gauge by 10% every turn, and max limit break it's 12%. MP generation rate is up by 5%, max limit break is 10%, and then a 500% chance to lose 500 HP every turn. That's a demerit, obviously. Over on JP, they did get 14 Sync Quartz when they had their special broadcast, so I can only assume the same for us. We'll get some TCMs and TCM long version, which I guess if you want to check those out, you can check them out anytime you want. I'm afraid of getting some kind of form of copyright strike if I played them now, but pretty basic stuff, right? I'm going to be curious. And then also game update, both John are going to be getting their strengthenings. 1 to Revelation A going at the end of the Pure and the Clear Prayers, which is an increase to party's arch performance 3 turns. That's the new effect. Charges party's NP gauge, that's a new effect. And then gain crit stars every turn for 3 turns, that's an upgrade. And for Alter, it's Ephemeral Dream going from A to EX, increases zone buster performance for 1 turn, grants self invincibility, and then the new effect is charges out NP gauge and then deals damage to self. That's a demerit. She hasn't, I forgot that she's gone for so long without charging your own NP gauge. she was such a terror back in the day that I'd always assumed that even though not many people had talked about her in the new age, that she was still pretty damn solid. But I had forgotten that this entire time she'd been just going around without an MP gauge. But yeah, she'll be getting that, so look forward to that. And if you have either one of them, I have the first young here, so I will gladly get this strengthening for her. And then finally, we're already on the summoning campaigns. Like I said, relatively pretty easy. We're only going to be going over Marie Antoinette Altar and Hassan of the Shining Star today. And the others I'll save for a later time, hopefully when I actually get the right amount of times I can talk about them. I've been making some promises to talk about other banners, and then work screws me over and it's not possible. But first banner is Marie Antoinette Altar, who is, as you can see here, locked. And then Hassan of the Shining Star, which I believe is not locked, but we'll take a closer look at that soon. You have a chance to get the permanent craft essence, but they're not on rate up, so you have the same chance as anything else. So it's the same standard type of banner, but that will be there when the maintenance is done. You can expect this banner right there, right then. And then 3 days later, Jalter will be there with Celiari. She's limited and Celiari is story locked. And then 2 days after that, Tairo no Kagekyo will be there along with Marie Antoinette up for a summon. And then a full week when this one starts, we're gonna get the Count of Monte Cristo and Alessandro di Cagliostro. I fucked that name up so unbelievably bad. But one's an Avenger and the other one is a Pretender. And I'll talk about those, of course, closer to a week past of it all. I can't believe that I forgot to talk about them, because when I was doing my whole big video about what banners am I going to be summoned for this year, I'm obviously at least going to be trying for the Count. I love my boy Dantes. He's been my good, faithful, quick servant for so many years that I of course, got to rep him and get a new form of him when I can. But yeah, very basic stuff to be coming with this. I'll be very curious to see what, if on the stream they're going to announce anything that we're not expecting. I would be really cool, but I can't really expect it, right? So I guess we'll learn at the same time. But anyway, now that that's out of the way, let's actually talk about the units. So we're going to start with Hassan of the Shining Star. He is an assassin. He's not limited in any kind of capacity, so he'll be in every banner. He's an assassin, duh. He has 3 quicks, 1 arts, 1 buster, 6 hits on quick, 4 hits on arts, 2 hits on buster, 5 hits on extra. His active skills are martial training under the Dark Knight. He's trained with Batman himself. Increases on quick performance for 3 turns, increases on arts performance for 3 turns, and then increase on attack on the darkness battlefield for 3 turns. 30% to quick, 30% to arts, and this is on a cooldown of 6. His second skill is the Battle Acceleration Shadow A+. Grant self evasion for 2 attacks, 3 turns. Grant self buff on attack buff for 3 turns. Increases on critical damage by 10% for 3 turns when attacking with quick cards. Activates first. Increase on critical star generation rate for 3 turns. 100% to the star rate on a cooldown of 6. His third skill is the Black Blade C+. Increases on critical damage for 3 turns. Grants self buff on attack buff for 3 turns. Charges on MP gauge by 10% when attacking with quick cards. And then also increases on MP generation rate for 3 turns, 50% to crit damage, and MP rate is increased by 30%, and this is on a cooldown of 6. Passive skills are Present Concealment A and Oblivion Correction B. His third skill is an Anti-Assassin Attack Damage Aptitude, which is to increase own attack against assassins. Because trust no one, not even your very multiple selves of the Hassans. I don't know if that joke still works with the Hassans because they are all Hassan, but I make it regardless of anything. And his noble phantasm is the Zabanya? Zabanya? Something hopefully close to that, but we'll see. The Thoughtless Framework, it's rank C+, anti-unit, anti-army special technique. It's arts? Hits 6 times, increases own NP damage by 20% for 3 turns. This activates first. Deals damage to all enemies, deals 150% extra damage against enemies with the man attribute, a 500% chance to deal 1000 damage to self on a demerit. MP level 1 is 450%, and if you get him all the way to MP level 5, 750%. And then he has an overcharge effect, which is increased to own quick performance for 1 turn, activates first, and increased to own arts performance for 1 turn, this activates first. 20% to quick and 20% to arts at charge level 1, and if you get them all the way to the final charge level, it is 40% to both. And of course, their Bond C is the Black Blade, so when equipped to Hassan of the Shining Star, increases the party's crit damage by 15%, and then increases the party's damage against enemies with the man attribute by 15% while he is on the field. And that is Hassan of the Shining Star. So, how do I feel about him? So, I don't know too much about him. If you know a little bit more about him or you've used him on the JP version, feel free to let me know. But I'm not sure how I feel about that kit. It's a little bit weird. I was kind of down for it when it was 3 quick. I'm like, okay, well, he's gonna have a quick Noble Phantasm then. Surprise, no, he doesn't. He doesn't at all. Having increase an attack on Darkness Battlefield is really cool because it kind of goes with the whole Hassan thing. I like that part, but then there's no real. How do you even get the Darkness Battlefield? Is there someone who just gives darkness? Yes, there is a couple people that give darkness. No, there isn't. That's just people who do stuff with darkness. Anyway, feel free to let me know about that, but I don't know, his kit feels a little bit weird because it's 3 quick cards and then he does give a little bit to arts, but he only has really arts on the Noble Phantasm and the card, and that makes it feel like it might be a little bit awkward. I don't know. Phil, again, let me know on this one because I'm not too sure about him. It seems like he would probably be okay, but nothing is like really jumping out at me. It's kind of nice that he's anti-man, that's for sure. I like the way that he's able to generate a lot of a decent amount of MP generation rate. I guess if you're a bigger fan of someone who kind of like intermingles between the 2 types, it's probably a little bit more for you, but for me, I'm not feeling it. And I think I've said it in the past, I'm usually not I've become a little bit more accepting with the Mighty Chain stuff, but I'm still a little bit hesitant when it comes to units like this. So my thing is that I think he looks really cool, and I'll be happy to get him if I randomly get him while there because I love the Hassans. He seems like a decent enough dude, but in terms of the unit, I'm not sure. I'm gonna need a little bit more information on this, so feel free to tell me if there's anything I'm missing, but right now I'm feeling like he's just kind of okay. Just nothing really jumping out at me. And now, speaking of jumping out at me, we're gonna go over to Marie Antoinette Alter. Marie Antoinette Alter is a story locked servant, so she wasn't limited. Like I said, I should have realized that when I saw the little story locked icon instead of the limited one. But she is an alter. She has 2 quicks, 2 arts, 1 buster, 4 hits on quick, 4 hits on arts, 4 hits on buster, and 5 hits on extra. Her first skill is the Bloodstained Necklace, B+, charges own MP gauge, charges own MP gauge for return for 3 turns, grants self a buff on defense buff for 5 times, 3 turns, charges own MP gauge by 10% when taking attack, 30% to the MP, and the MP regen is 20%, and this is on a cooldown of 6. Her second skill is the Guillotine Resentment. The Guillotine of Ridicule, B. Inflicts curse for 3 turns to all enemies. Increases own damage against enemies with the curse status for 3 turns. Increases own arts performance for 3 turns. 5,000 curse damage, 30% versus curse damage, and 30% to arts on a cooldown of 6. Her third skill is the My Love is Eternal EX. Grants self-invincibility for 3 attacks, 3 turns. Grants party the gut status, except for self, for 1 time, 3 turns, and then recovers party's HP. Her passive skills are Adventure C+, Oblivion Correction C, and Self-Replenishment Magic B+. Her third skill is an anti-rider attack damage aptitude, because trust no one, not even yourself. This time it does make sense. And her Noble Phantasm is the Vivictus, which is the Vicustus, Vicutus of Tragedy, Funeral with Black Lilies. I don't know how to pronounce that word, so feel free to let me know. Oh yeah, this one's definitely fucking me up next time. It is a B+ Noble Phantasm. It's anti-country. Fitting for Marie Antoinette, I suppose, alter. Arts, hits 4 times. Inflicts curse with 1,000 damage for 5 turns to all enemies, activates first. Inflicts evil curse status for 5 turns to them, activates first. Increases curse damage by 100%. Deals damage to them, reduces their MP gauge by 1, and then a 60% chance to instant kill them. Note, to always succeed instant kill requires other servant support, which I guess that makes sense. MP level 1 is 450%. If you get all the way to the final MP level, it's 750%. An increase to own MP damage is the overcharge effect, 20% at MP at overcharge level 1. If you get all the way to the final overcharge level, it's 40%. And then the Bond C is the Guillotine of Ridicule. When equipped with Marie Antoinette Alter, increases party's MP damage by 10%, and then increases party's damage against enemies with the curse status by 15% while self is on the field. And that is Marie Antoinette Alter. So how is Marie Antoinette alter? Again, this is another one I'd probably say if you have a little bit more information to give on her, I would love to hear about it, but my current gut feeling is that she's just kind of okay. I don't think she really has anything here that makes me feel like she would excel to an insane degree. She has some neat stuff, being able to charge your own MP gauge, and also charging your own MP gauge means that it's going to be very easy to kind of get her NP back, but at the same time, she is arts. It was already kind of all super easy to get it that way, but I guess it is nice if you are maybe dealing with a different kind of scenario where you want to slowly build her up. I guess that's one way to kind of approach it. There's a little bit of a different kind of team build that you can go that's not just simply looping and stuff like that, that you can probably take advantage of that. This third skill, being able to give the party guts, is also pretty nice. It doesn't give it to her, but it does give him some invincibility, and plus it recovers the party's HP. So you probably would like, it's a decent enough ability if you're using it in a maybe more challenging fight, and even if you're in a more challenging fight, I guess it makes a little bit more sense to have this as well, because then you know that you'll be able to, because again, a lot of the times when I think of an AoE unit, I'm thinking of them in terms of farming, but there's obviously much more ways that you can take advantage of that than just simply farming. And if you're doing a fight where you're not trying to instantly kill everyone on the first wave, and you're here for a little bit of a grindier game, and then at that point you probably wouldn't use something like double Castoria. You could probably use a little bit of Tamamo to try and get a little bit like that if you wanted to play like that. It's not a way that most people would like to play. It's definitely not usually the way I like to play, but I could see that as being a way someone could choose to enjoy their time playing Fate Grand Order. And then the other thing she does is that she just gives a lot of curse. So if you're either in a gimmick that's like, oh, we can fight them with curse, or you're just someone who's like, actually, I really like cursing out dudes, so I'll use them for that. You can definitely use them for that. Reducing NP gauge is also really good, but it's also mainly good on some challenging fights. And the same is true probably is for instant kill, as that there's some scenarios where instant kill can be extremely handy and nice to have, but it's very dependent, especially because this one isn't really like hyper focused on anyone, and it's only really 60%, and to get the 100% you need to have a little bit of extra. So yeah, my gut feeling is that I think she'll probably just be okay. I probably could use a little bit more strengthenings of it. I have been waiting for Marie Antoinette alter since they showed that original art many years ago for the collab. It's probably the only thing I like about the the Requiem collab, is I believe where she first debuted, from what I remember the art where she came from, if I'm remembering correctly. If I'm not, feel free to correct me, but that is like my favorite part of Requiem was when Marie Antoinette Alter's art was was up on display. So I am obviously going for this unit. Am I going to be going all out? I don't think so, especially with the collab coming up. But I have enough set aside that I'm going to go like, you know what? I've been waiting for my girl. I would love to have her. I think Marie Antoinette also has, I don't know, she has a very special like connection to our version of the game that is not on the JP version. I feel did you know that we had a special shirt for Marie Antoinette specifically because of that one line she says about the homies in France? That one line that was like an early meme that got a lot of people to draw a little bit more Marie Antoinette back in the day, became something that was kind of like our side that was not on the it was like the first instances that I can think of where it was something that ours version of the game was like super hyper fixated on that did not happen on the JP version. That just, you know, gives that certain feeling to me that makes me, I guess, nostalgic for the old times. So I view Marie Antoinette as a definite homie, and I definitely really like Marie Antoinette. I chased, for my final copy of Marie Antoinette Summer, I chased her banner, and I had to stop because I got NP5 of Summer Saber for that year, the Archer one. And that one started at, I had her at like NP2 when I started, and I was at NP4 with Summer Marie. So yes, I have a very different relationship with Marie Antoinette than others do. I think if you're just someone who's like, hey, casually looking by, I think it makes sense to probably skip. If you're a fan of Marie, though, you may as well give it a shot and try it out. But if you're someone who's like looking toward the future and you're like, you know, here's what's on display, there's a collab coming up, should I spend some stuff? like, no, probably not. It's probably not in your best interest. This is really for the true homies out there, like me, who are willing to go for a Marie Antoinette. But that's how I feel. If you feel a little bit differently than me, feel free to leave it down below. If you have, if there's something I'm missing that I haven't caught, let me know, because I will gladly bring that up next time. I never forget when someone corrects me on something. I may eventually forget the name, but I will always remember the comment of someone saying, please just give this unit another shot. Here's something that you can use them in. And specifically for this game, you can find a lot of ways to use a unit. So if you're missing something the first time, someone else will have found a way to use them. But anyway, that's the end of the video. Somehow we got to 20 minutes on this one. I can't believe it. Probably because most of it was me talking about Marie Antoinette. But yeah, expect that banner to go up after maintenance. The stream will happen, and then likely after the stream, you know, we'll go into maintenance, and then out of maintenance, she'll be up there. I plan to summon a little bit for her. My brother is also summoning for her. Are you also going for Marie Antoinette?
Yeah.
He says, yeah, we're here for it. We're on team homie. We're going for it. And if I get Hassan of the Shining Star, I'll also take that.
Yeah.
He said yeah. But anyway, that's the end of the video, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, I guess if you want to show support, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. Till next time, bye-bye. Peace out. And good luck out there, I guess, if you're summoning. If you're not, good luck saving.